Hello everyone around the world, I am William the Zebra Alcala, your commentator for the Camel Mill Racing League for Season 28. We're doing the... I don't know how else to describe this car, but for lack of a better term, an engineer's wet dream next to the Red Bull X 2010. This thing is a more realistic version of kind of like the dream open cockpit car, if you will. It's a fantasy car developed by Slightly Mad Studios, the developers of this great game. And this is what they came up with, is the Formula X. Not only does it have insane downforce, insane grip. First of all, look at those rear tires. It is a callback to the, I believe, is the mid to late 70s era of Formula One. Yes, I'm still here. Compared to the F1 cars of today, which have the halo, this is kind of a little bit of a mixture of both IndyCar and Formula One as far as the kind of like safety of it. So we have the shield other than the halo, and then as you see, kind of like a Williams style-esque, I wish I could move this, but a Williams style-esque kind of a LCD screen that they can look on. So the screen's not attached to the wheel, it's right in front of them, kind of like how Williams has today. And it's just an overall, it's so fun to drive. If you ever played career mode and got to the point that I did, I was able to drive this car at Fuji in the rain, and it was really fun. Even in the rain, this car has surprisingly a lot amount of grip and downforce. So enough talking and kind of gushing about this car. I mean, there you see it. It is just absolutely beautiful looking. Just a piece of engineering masterpiece, if you will. But today, it is the Season 28 opener, round one. We're going to be doing 2 hours, 120 minutes. Oh, I'm sorry, an hour and 20 minutes. My bad. So an hour and 20 minutes, 90 minutes. Wait, no. What's math? 80 minutes. So an hour and 20 minutes at Silverstone. So this is the Silverstone Grand Prix in the Formula X, and it's going to be an absolute blast. Get to see what kind of times these types of cars will be doing around an official Formula One circuit. So we're following. So we have about 12 minutes to go here in qualifying. Currently P1 is JMUT76. He was unable to make a couple of the races last season and was unfortunately relegated down to Group B, which means, if my memory serves correctly, that he will not be eligible for any prize money in Group B, but he will be eligible for promotion back up to Group A. But if he finishes first in Group B, he just won't receive any prize money. And Camel has designed that to keep people from getting promoted and then demoted and kind of going back up and like winning free money essentially. So it's like, I like that idea. That's pretty smart. I like that a lot. Down in second place, 2 seconds down below him, we have the Camel Season 27 winner in Group A. As he dives into the pits, Will Phaser finished pretty strongly in the points in Group A, stays in Group A. Okay. And then making his return after taking, I believe he took the whole Season 27 off, but he is back. It is Jacob D48. So he is returning here. I believe he's listed as a reserve, so I'm assuming he's going to be making as many races as he can, potentially even a full season. Who knows? Only he does. So we will definitely keep an eye on him as the season progresses. Hannibal Moore making his return after a points battle as J Mutt sets a new fast lap by 1:30.120. We're going to get more into the technical specifics with the Formula X after we go through kind of like our starting roster. Let's actually go up to this man right here, DJ Vixen. He has a chance. He may have a chance to actually finish pretty high up in Group B here this season. Currently 5th fastest with a 1:35.240. And then we have Hannibal Moore. It's going to be very interesting. It's definitely going to be a battle for him to stay in. Looking at the other drivers in Group A, we have the Camel, One Space, and Will Phaser. Him and Potts are definitely going to be bonking heads, but Potvin sucks at, and which we'll get to him shortly. He's definitely going to be struggling to stay in Group A for sure. Potts was super quick last season, but these are entirely different cars. So it's going to see if any kind of kind of Group C or bottom Group B drivers kind of excel in these types of cars compared to last season, which was the GT1 Panos. So let's see how that works. Down in 7th place, we have DTF 6 Dragons Rule, your Group C champion, now being promoted up to Group B. So we talked to him at the end of the season 27 race, and we asked him if we could see him jump from basically CBA. So after this season, see him in Group A, and he wants to. He wants to really bad. So we're definitely going to keep an eye on him and see how well he does with his Group B peers here today. Mark F1, good to see him back. Currently in Group B as well. Spoon 951, Group C, was unable to get out. Just too far behind. He had a chance, along with Blitz, to get out of Group C. He had a great points battle with DTF 6 Dragons Rule, but an unfortunate race at Watkins Glen cost him that chance, so he's still stuck in Group C, along with Blitz, which is this man. But Potvin sucks. This is the driver to definitely watch out for. He was fast. He was consistently finishing in the top 5. I believe he got 1 or 2 podiums last season, and he's looking to add more to his podium total. So let's see how he does. He's on his way out with 8 minutes left to go. DJ Vixen has a penalty. He gets a one grid place penalty. So he is showing P5, but whatever he finishes, he will be docked down 1 position. So that is unfortunate for him. So I wonder what happened. I wonder if that was speeding in the pits or something. As Rosa236 has joined the fray. Crap. Probably should have added his name. Oh well. But let's talk about the specs. Okay, let's go and pull up the speedometer. Let me show you what I'm talking about. That blue bar. That is pretty much your... That's going to be your ERS, your... what is it? The electric recovery system? Hold on. Let me verify that. Energy recovery system, my bad. So I believe that's either supposed to represent the ERS or the KERS. But regardless, you use that, it gives you more horsepower to the engine. So I guess in a way it would be... What's the difference between KERS and ERS? Someone needs to tell me in the comments or mess me on PlayStation Now at the Zebra94. But essentially it's ERS/KERS, and it provides more power to the engine. So, but at the same time, it consumes more fuel. So the drivers, they need to use it. They need to be careful when using it because they use too much of it, and their fuel can deplete a lot quicker than they want to. Therefore, they're going to have to make more and more pit stops. The fuel limit for today is going to be 63 liters. That means drivers have to start with a maximum. Well, they can't start with no more than 63 liters, and they can't put no more in than 63 liters at a time. That means that they can surpass 63 liters total in fuel, but they can't put no more than 63 liters at a time. So with all that kind of being said, let's go ahead and go over the track for today. Hope this works. Well, I got a PNG image, but this will do. So here we are. This is the kind of full, and you can see the little mini map right next to it. You can see where everyone's kind of going over here. So you're going to see the little mini map right over here. So I hope you guys can kind of see my mouse here. So let's kind of go through kind of like the track with Potts here. Who are on board? Yeah, we're on board with Potts here. So he's going to go through Brooklands down here around Luffield, which is this tight right-hander. A lot of aerodynamics, so should be able to easily kind of go through here. Then Woodcote, this pretty much just flat little right-hander. And then past the old start finish of the old Silverstone, then around Cops, my bad. Then my favorite part of this track, Maggots and Beckett's, 10, 11, 12, 13. Right through here. Then you want to get a nice entry out. Use all the track you can to go down Chapel and then head down the hangar straight. Expect a lot of cars to be using their ERS system. I'm just going to call it their KERS. As they approach Stowe, you're going to be able to carry a lot of speed, as you see Potts about mid to high 90s, and then down into 16, 17, and 18, which I believe is the Vale and Club. Sorry, I had to move that up so I can see. And then around Club, and that's going to be, well, actually, no, we haven't. So here's the start of a lap. We should have done it at the start of a lap. So around Abbey, through Farm, and then through the arena section, 3, 4, 5. Definitely really, really tight. Right around here. Try to get as much traction out and then power out. And then you head down for Brooklands. And that is going to be a lap around Silverstone with Potvin Sucks as he improves his lap time by 1 second, by 1.246 seconds. So we will definitely expect to see some mix up in the just based off these qualifying results. Obviously, it's not where you start; it's all about where you finish. So J-Mutt breaking the 130 barrier and the number 24 Monster Energy Formula X car. Will Phaser in second, and right behind him by 2/1000ths of a second is Camel. So I think he might try to do one more lap, maybe. So we'll see about that. And Jacob and P4 so far with a 132, just behind Camel. So second through fourth, very, very tight. J-Mutt looks like having kind of qualifying dialed in, and then very tight between fifth, sixth, and seventh. Obviously, DJ Vixen having that one grid place penalty. But 1 minute 57 seconds left. Let's go ahead and ride around with J-Mutt, our current pole sitter for the time being. So we have the speedometer over on the right side. Let's go ahead and go with someone who's actually on their flying lap, actually. Let's take one more lap around. Who do we have? Let's see about the Camel. Let's ride on board with him as he pushes wide. That's very uncharacteristic of Camel, so I think that's going to be his qualifying run pretty much done and over with. I think J-Mutt's getting ready to start his lap. Yes, so let's ride on board with J-Mutt. It looks like fifth gear pinned. Didn't even lift there. Pushing a little bit wide. I mean, just so much speed, so much downforce. Looks like the car is a little bit slippery, actually, so that's going to be very interesting. Kind of getting a wide entry there. So looks like these cars might be a little bit of a handful than I remember. Let's see, J-Mut just really pushing as some drivers are coming up to club as J-Mut actually pushes wide there coming off of Cops and through Mackins and Beckett. We'll see how well he maneuvers this. Fifth gear and then down to third, pushes wide, and he's gonna have to, but he's actually down by 2 seconds, so that's very interesting. Qualifying is over, so let's go and try to take a look at see who's finishing here. Let's follow the Camel. Let's see what time he's going to post. As J-Mud dives into the pits, and he's not going to be able to post a lap there, unfortunately. A couple more drivers coming on through here. Try and get that car in front. Who's that going to be? That might be... No, that's not Spoon. Who is that? Is that Will? Who's that car? And DJ going off. Sorry about the wrap. I'm trying to get the gosh dang people. Well... Not able to get whoever is there, so let's go and follow Spoon. Let's see if he can improve his time of a 137.758. Maybe even get into the high 136 as Jacob D48 moves up into P2 past Will Phaser with a 131.851. Spoon pushes wide there. And he will not improve his time, unfortunately. Here comes Dragon as he's approaching... Might be DJ, actually. No, that's not DJ. I'll learn their car liveries throughout the season, so don't you fret. So let's see if Dragon can improve his time. 135.682 is the time to beat, and he does, but he does not improve his position. That was Will Phaser. What about Blitz? Can he get into the 136s and potentially punch in 9th or 8th or 9th perhaps? Let's see if he can get it done, and well, it won't tell me. All right, so let's go over. I am trying something new, so please forgive. It might be a little bit wonky, but let's take a look at your starting grid. Starting in first place, we have Mr. J-Mutt himself. Then we have Jacob in P2. In third position, we have Will Phaser. And P3. Camel starting in fourth position, so that's very odd for him. In fifth, we have Hannibal Moore. In sixth, we have DTF Dragon. Nah, that'll be fine. In seventh, we have Mark F1. And then in eighth, we have the Wonder Boy himself, Potvin Sucks. That's going to be your starting 8. And then Blitz, Spoon, and Rosta as we're getting ready to go green flag racing. We'll get better at that. Here we go, lights out. And we are underway at the Silverstone Grand Prix. Kind of an awful camera angle, but J-Mutt gets a wonderful start as he goes hopping into the first corners as we have cars kind of going off, trying to gain traction and grip. And they all start to follow the way through. An hour and 20 minutes of pure nonstop open wheel action. And it's going to be J-Mutt taking the lead. That was awful camera work from this game. Good God. Got a car going wide there. That's going to be Will Phaser in P3. The Camel right behind him. So they start to file through the first couple of corners. J-Mutt already extending by a 1 second lead over Jacob. It's going to be very interesting to see who's going to rise to the top in these open wheelers. Then all the way back here, Mark F1 falling down. DJ Vixen falling down. Rosta moving up 2 positions from his starting place in P12. All through here, Spoon 951 following through Corpse. Looks like, or Cops, excuse me. Let's go back up here, actually. This is going to be a battle for the lead. Jacob and J-Mutt. As they go down the hangar straight. Oh, Jacob's going to lose it. He's got to be careful when re-entering. He's going to kind of do it the long way. So smart move there by Jacob as Camel now moving up into second. Will Phaser now chasing Camel. J-Mutt already a 5 second lead. It's like watching the Hungarian Grand Prix. J-Mutt just getting a huge jump off of the first lap, and he is gone. He's got that car dialed in, or he's using a lot of the curves available. Wow, absolutely amazing. Let's watch this midfield battle. This is for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th right here. Let's go up here. Jacob trying to get past Blitz there, and he does on the inside, making it stick. Great job on him. Nice little pass for top 5 glory as they all kind of file through in the back. Let's run on board with Spoon and let's see what he sees. You kind of see just all of that lateral grip. I mean, it looks like he did take it a little bit slow than what the leaders have been taking, and it is just enormous already. J-Mutt doing a 138.763. Cam only a 145 off the opening lap. So I think that J-Mutt using a lot of his curves, a lot of his ERS to get ahead. And if I am saying the wrong thing, please correct me because I don't like to be wrong about stuff. So Camel trying to close down, but again, he's already lost another 2 seconds. So it's going to be interesting to see what these drivers do as far as their kind of energy system is concerned. Pot's really slow there. That is just unreal. And J-Mutt looks like he's really taking this. Spoon putting pressure on Potts now. Spoon getting underneath Potts. Well, that's going to be for 7th position. Let's move up here now. Oh, nope, never mind. That dissipated real quick. Never mind. Actually, it's back on. Hannibal Moore within that second. It's kind of falling behind, though. So, lacking a little bit of the kind of the acceleration to get out of the corners along with the grip. You see a lot of drivers kind of being careful on the throttle, not to spin the tires. We saw Jacob do so, just put a little bit too much throttle down and just lit him up. Now Jacob's trying to make his way through, trying to get back up into the podium spot. Hannibal Moore improving his lap by 1.3 seconds, his best lap rather. J-Mutt still has that 7.5 second gap, so he hasn't gained or lost any time to Camel. That's what you have to watch out for. Camel looks like he slipped up there for a little bit, so that little last sector through club there, just very, very hard on these cars. These cars, they want to go fast. They looks like they don't like the slow, tight corners, as Jacob putting pressure on Hannibal, trying to find a way around, dives into turn 3. Can he get it to stick? And I think he's going to try to do a double takeover here. Let's see if he can get it done. Already not even going to try to use the draft there. Breaks it, gets past Hannibal, but unable to really kind of get up to speed. Not the longest straight. That's going to be on the back stretch on the hanger straight there, where that would have been awesome to do a double overtake. But Jacob pushing through the field now. Getting a little bit in the grass. He's got to be careful with that. If he's doing it on purpose to extend track limits, but actually he's getting slowed down from it. And now Hannibal back on the attack. Again, pushing way wide. You gotta watch out for that, because that's how you lose grip, and that's how you crash right into the wall, and that's pretty much your race over, because you're gonna have to limp to the pits. It's not like the other games, the other sims, where once you kind of crash, like in Formula 1 2020, when you crash, the game says, okay, yeah, you're done. But this one, you can still limp to the pits on 3 tires, so it's going to be interesting to see if anything like that happens, and if CPRL's got any indication of kind of like a virtual safety car to put into place, so that way that car can get back to the pit safely, which would be kind of smart. So we'll see how it all works out. Again, Jacob's still working on Will Phaser. He's already gotten clear past Hannibal. Oh no, just big shunt there. I don't know if he's got any damage or not. Just crashed right into the back of him, and that wasn't on purpose. I think Jacob was just carrying a little bit too much speed and a turn 4 there, coming out of the arena section, and just plowed right into Will Phaser. So let's see if any of these 2 drivers have any damage, if Jacob's got any front damage at all. Because now Hannibal's catching up. Hannibal's got that first sector kind of dialed down, it seems, as we have Blitz going into the pits, it seems. Ooh, so scary, so twitchy, but I don't know if that's just the game kind of coming off, or if that is actually how the car's handling. Jacob getting a really great run through Maggots and Beckett's as they go down to, oh, he spins it again. But luckily with these wide open fields, he's able to get it saved and turned around, but he's going to lose more than enough spots. He's got to be careful. He's got to ease onto the throttle. He can't just slam and go, because the engines don't exactly like that with the tires. The tires don't exactly like that. The engine definitely doesn't. Really puts a lot of toll and hardship onto it. So let's move up to here. Hannibal and Will Phaser again. Will Phaser kind of struggling through the slower sections, it seems. Hannibal has a little bit of a better setup for it, a little bit of a better idea for it. So taking a look at the gap between J-Mutt and Camel. Remember, Camel, out of the 27 seasons that has completed, Camel has only lost 1. And I believe that was to this man right here, J-Mutt. J-Mutt was the only person who has won a championship in Group A. However, J-Mutt's in Group B. So we could see, potentially, I don't know if this is correct in the history of CPRL, but we could see, if J-Mutt continues this domination as we're seeing right now, could see our first ever overall champion not be in Group A, which would be huge. I don't know what that would be. What that would, I don't even know. I don't even know. So definitely have to keep an eye out on that as Jacob gets past Spoon. So Jacob's back up into P5. Now, so look at the lap times. J-Mutt running a 135. Camel also running a 135, albeit 3/10 slow, but still about the same lap time. So this is what Camel needs to use to kind of slowly start building and gaining those positions back. Got a nice little gaggle back behind him. This is going to be Dragon, Rosta, and Potts. 9th, 8th, and 7th. But it kind of spreads out there as we have a spin. That's going to be... Is that going to be Jacob again? It is. He went way off. He's really pushing hard. And that's the third time he's spun in less than 20 minutes. So he's got to get his car underneath him. He's got to learn throttle control. Because that's what's really kind of breaking him here is his throttle control. So once he kind of gets up... Actually, let's go ahead and take a ride with him. Let's go ahead and put up the speedometer. Let's take a look at his throttle control here. Actually, hold on. Sorry about that. Let's go ahead and, as Dragon gets around Rosa there, I do apologize. Yeah, Dragon gets around Rosa. Rosa falling back down to 8th place. So let's go ahead and take a look around Jacob. Let's go ahead and kind of ride along with him. Let's actually go inside his cockpit. I know we're seeing a lot of cockpit action, but don't worry, it is for a purpose. So what constitutes spinning? What constitutes looping your car around in, like, either coming out of a corner, going into a corner, or even in the middle of the corner? Well, it's a combination of things. One, obviously the setup. Is a setup designed to handle it. It's actually Jacob's going into the pits, so we will actually kind of talk more about that as actually Spoon gets turned around again through that tight section, catching a lot of these drivers off guard, it seems. So going back to what I said, what causes a car to spin in all parts of the corner? Well, let's take going into the corner, for instance. When you go into the corner, for one, your entry angle can be in way wrong. You can be going way too hot and cut in at too deep of an angle, as looks like there's some type of contact between Rosta and Dragon here as they both go off. Spoon's going to try to do a little double overtake. Rosta trying to get back on the track, but looks like he's got some type of maybe might have some type of suspension or steering damage, because you kind of see him kind of waving a lot on the stretch there, which normally isn't a good sign. So now Spoon moves up into 6th position. And Dragon is falling back a lot too. Rosa taking out a brake sign. I don't think that was on purpose, but again, he's running way wide. Something is wrong with Rosa 236, with the car of Rosa 236. Take a look at this up here. Hannibal and Will Phaser. Let's go ahead and just kind of keep an eye on them as we kind of continue to break down what's been going on here. So if you enter in a corner at too much of an angle, too much of a speed, basic physics there, car just whips around. A lot of oversteer will cause you to really oversteer, cause you to completely spin around just like Dragon did there, although he did save it. But again, we don't know if, well, he doesn't have damage because he didn't go into the pits, so we do know that much. Again, Spoon having a hard time. A lot of these drivers having a hard time with this car, it seems. And it is a very difficult car. Very, it looks pretty slippery out there. So I don't know if that's just down to the setup or the skill of the driver. I don't know what it is. So very, very interesting. We will talk about this eventually, but there is quite a bit of action kind of going on through here. A lot of hot potato, especially in these kind of mid-pack positions here. Spoon getting a better exit out of Maggins and Beckett's there, it seems. I lied. Rosa did, actually, as you take a look at the relatives. Up here, battle for third and fourth. Wolfphaser and Hannibal. This is in Group A right here. And Potts up in fifth place. So one space unable to make it here tonight, which is huge for these guys. They need to try to get as many points ahead of one space as possible. Oh, Hannibal just losing it. Oof. But he saves it. Sometimes it does take a little bit for the drivers to kind of settle in into race pace and kind of find a balance in their car and just kind of learning the car more. So you're always going to see the first race be a little bit rough. Looking at the schedule, which by the way, next race is going to be the as Hannibal getting past Will. Oh, I'm sorry. Thought that was no. Hannibal is going to be in the kind of a Williams inspired livery here. So that's kind of cool. Next week will be a doubleheader. We're going to Zolder, followed by Hockenheim. So we're going to Belgium, then we're going to Germany for a nice doubleheader next week. A lot of these tracks don't have much elevation changes, which is good for these cars, it seems, because they're having the toughest time kind of dealing with even these flat, fast corners. These two have an amazing battle for the bottom step of the podium here. Again, Rosa and Spoon also having a good battle. There's a lap car behind him that may be Blitz. Here comes Spoon on the back of Rosta. And he's actually going to let that lap car go by. Let's see who that is. Yeah, that's going to be Blitz. Definitely a lot faster. A little bit of trouble for Rosa there. That's going to allow Spoon to capitalize. Let's see if he can get it done. Will he dive it down in a stow? He will not. Oh, yes, he will. Rosa pushing a little bit wide, but he's going to get the slightly better exit, slightly better traction coming out of it. This is the section where a lot of drivers have been messing up here. And it's a very technical section. A Spoon making a pass on the outside. You never see passes done around Club. That is amazing. Spoon just said, I'm going to take that and go with it. So, wow, great move on Spoon. Let's go back up to these guys. Once again, Hannibal Moore and Will Phaser. As they go through Maggins and Beckett. 20 minutes have gone, and already Jama has put, from third on back, more than half a lap down. That is wild. 13 laps in. And he's still increasing the lead on Camel, too. That is just amazing. You hear the low kind of growl, so they're seem like they're short shifting in low RPMs as to not spin the tires, because when you go in a high RPM when exiting a corner, so when your car is catching up to speed after downshifting and your car wants to change gears and go into a higher gear, you risk multiple things. One, if you decide to stay the same, let's say you're in second gear, and coming out of the corner, if you accelerate while still in second gear, as you're kind of like exiting the apex of the corner, your car will still want to churn when you're in that high gear. At the same time, if you decide to change gears while you're in the middle of the apex, then once again, when you're exiting the apex, the power will then kick to the rear wheels, and then you'll just spin around as J-Mutt is now going into the pits. So kind of have to be careful. You'll actually see some drivers in real life and also in sims as they'll short shift in the middle of the corner before they hit the apex. So that way, by the time they exit out, their car will be ready to go full power into the next gear. If that makes any sense. Very technical stuff to kind of explain here. So J-Mutt in the pits. That's going to promote Camel up into first place now. There you see the difference right there. Wolf Phaser, 4 liters short, now 3 liters to Hannibal, and that's using their kind of ERS system, I believe. So J-Mutt, he went into pit early, so 80 minus 63 is what, 17? Right? Yeah, 17. So he came in with 17. Let's take a look how much the Camel has. Camel has 11. So J-Mutt is using less fuel than Camel. That's amazing. That is just amazing. Rosso with a 10-second time penalty. So we have an hour left to go here. So Rosso already taking a... Oh, and he's... Oh! Almost looped it. So you get that power down too early. Tire spin, rear comes around, but he's able to save it. Is he going to pull aside and let the faster cars on through? Wolf Phaser able to push ahead of Hannibal. So we really don't have much going for us right now. So we definitely had a lot to talk about, a lot of action. Definitely the pass of the day done by Spoon951 around club around the outside. This man right here, as Jacob is on the prowl now, trying to get his spots back as he loops it again. So I don't know what that is. We didn't have the speedometer up, so I think that just might be setup. He may have too tight of a setup. It's also possible that his brake bias is kind of too even. That needs to be more forward, because with brake bias is, I believe the idea of brake bias is the higher the percentages, the more brakes go to the front wheels. So if you have a 69%, nice. You have a 69% brake bias. That means 69% of the braking power goes to the front, and the rest distributed towards the rear wheels. I believe. I could be messing that up completely, and I do apologize if I am. But if you have 50-50, then you have equal braking power going to both front and rear. And some cars that work, some cars that don't, because what that does is it'll lock up the rear wheels and it will cause you to spin. It's really weird. So you kind of want to find that nice little middle ground on the brake bias and the fronts to the rears. Because too little, all four will lock up and you'll just kind of slide. Too much, and your fronts will dive down and your car will just jump out at you. But if you find that right balance, find that right percentage, your car will churn nice and easy. It'll brake. It'll do a really good job. As it gets on the turf there, it almost loses it. And fast qualifying lap for sure. Started in, got the pole for Group C, but race pace not turning out to be so good, especially on this track. And this is a tough track, by the way, for a tough car. Silverstone is by far one of the more technical tracks, believe it or not, even though there's no elevation. In some ways, elevation does make a track a little bit easier, especially when there's no off-camber tracks. It's Hannibal off-camber corners. Hannibal now going into the pits. So you have a completely flat track with a lot of fast sweeping corners, some very slow sections as well. That really, so it's a mixture of everything. You got the straights, you got the fast sweeping corners, you got the slow, tight corners, you got the slow, long corners as well. So it is it's a lot to kind of deal with as a driver, especially going head first into a Formula X car. Camel going into the pits. Let's see where J-Mutt comes out at. J-Mutt was able to lap faster than Camel. Last lap, 137 to 136. Camel coming out. So Silverstone has one of the longest pit enters and exits, like total time. Total time is the pits from when you enter to when you exit. And J-Mutt coming out or coming past Camel, as Camel is now just getting up to speed and getting in front of a lap car there. I believe that is going to be DJ Vixen behind him. Yes, it is. They're running kind of like the teammate livery, it seems. Will Phaser in the pits. It's going to be interesting to see if Hannibal's going to be able to come out, but he was already pretty far down behind him. Potts coming into the pits as well. So with that pit stop, Camel was able to make up some space between J-Mutt. He was down, I believe, 13 seconds before pit starts kind of rolling in. So he's gained about 8 seconds during that pit stop. So great on Camel, as he's going to try to see if he can't close in the gap on J-Mutt in this kind of last half of the race. So we got about 12 minutes until the halfway point of the race anyway. So Will Phaser's out. How far behind? As we have a car guy got sent off into the shadow realm somewhere. Oh, Jacob, I believe. Oh, yeah, I believe that was Jacob that really spun it. So, again, just having a hard time with that race pace. Hannibal getting past Potts, no problem. But he's still a good 13 seconds down from Will Phaser. So he didn't really gain much time from that. So imagine last Thursday they got done running. They ran a 2-hour race at They ran a 2-hour race at the Nordschleife combined 24-hour circuit. I stepped away from the game too long. Game shut down, so we were unable to grab the closing minutes of that race, unfortunately. But so they go from a very grueling track to a very grueling track and car combination. So Camel has been nothing but rough on them. Well, Thursday was actually run by Road King 17. That's kind of his little baby, once a week. Specialty races to wrap up, to kind of celebrate the end of a season as Dragon. Oh, he goes around the outside, almost collects DJ there, but now he's in the grass trying to gain traction. Whoa, that was close. That was close. Jacob in the pits again. That is not good. He's gonna let the faster car go by. I believe that was Jay. No, that's gonna be Will Phaser getting around him there. So Dragon was on the heels of DJ, but DJ able to hold him off. Camel slowly closing in. Here comes Dragon trying to catch up to DJ now. This is for 7th and 8th. Locking up the tires there. Going into the final section of turns. Hannibal able to close down the gap from Will Phaser about 10 to 12 seconds. It's not much, but it's honest work, especially in these cars. Dragon really trying to chase down. You can see his little feet. If only we can get rid of that bottom menu screen, that'd be awesome. What kind of bogs down there? That's the risk you kind of take with these cars if you upshift a little too early. The car likes to bog down, but then it likes to kind of get up to speed, so gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. So Dragon really able to kind of work the car through Mackins and Beckett's to close the gap in a little bit on DJ. Something I just noticed, and I hope we can be able to see it, but I believe that 87% is what they have in their KERS, I believe, from what I can make of it. So let's go ahead and well, let's wait. Let's ride on board with Dragon just a little bit longer. See if he can't really catch up to DJ here. Pushing a little bit wide. Just going to take a look at other drivers real quick. 64 for J-Mutt. Yeah, I believe that's their push to pass, or their KERS. Hannibal's got 135%. Pot's got 139. Yeah, I think that's what that is. So that's pretty cool that it shows it on there. Camel running slightly faster laps than J-Mutt. Talking about giving them a false sense of security. So for comparison, this was the last year's British Grand Prix for the 2019 Formula One season. These cars aren't necessarily far off. I mean, I guess they are. So what lap times were they doing in qualifying? I think they were doing pretty fast. J-Mutt ran a 126, I believe, right? That was only about a second off for Valtteri Bottas's time of 125.093. That's pretty insane. Yeah, qualifying time was 125.093 by Valtteri Bottas. So it's pretty quick. A lot more streamlined. I do like how the rear wing looks in this car. Just streamlined. The Dragon and DJ going at it for 7th and 8th. This is battle for Group B. J-Mutt leading for Group B and leading the whole race as a whole. Interesting thing to see is also Group A, second, third, fourth, and fifth. It's going to be tough for Dragon to get into Group A this season, or by next season, it looks like. But again, this just could be the drivers kind of just learning their cars and how kind of everything functions together. It looks like that Dragon is afraid to commit on some parts of the track. He's actually going to let a fast car go by. That's going to be Will Phaser getting by him. It's going to be slowing down. Kind of a bad place to slow down for him. I would have probably communicated and said, hey, you can pass me on the straight, because now he's really kind of let DJ go by. So he's got to hope that Will Phaser gets him in a tight spot too, where DJ kind of lets him go. I mean, you know, great driving instincts by Dragon, but me personally, if that was me, it's like, no, I'm going to let you by on the straight, because I got to try to stay ahead, try to stay with him as much as possible. Let's go and ride on board with DJ. Let's see how well he handles. And he's also kind of in a bad spot, but a little bit of a better spot than Dragon was. Well, Dragon really able to catch up, though. Still taking a look at the top two positions. Camel running. Let's see what times Camel runs this time. J-Mutt ran a 137.859. Camel running 2/10 faster, so he's slowly closing the deal. He's slowly reeling in J-Mutt. So they're definitely going to have to pit for one more time, it seems. By the looks of it, some drivers have even yet to use their ERS. I keep going back and forth. I do apologize. I'm just going to call it ERS. I know ERS recharges. But in the game, it's either KERS or DRS. So, no, we're just going to stick with KERS until I'm proven otherwise. So Dragon really uses his KERS down the hanger straight. Like really, really uses it to try to catch up to DJ. DJ looked like having a better setup than Dragon in these cars. Oh, Dragon get a little bit too much on those curbs there. And he loses it. Gotta be a little careful when rejoining. Join at the appropriate angle. Yeah, just got a little bit too much on the curbs. No grip there. J-Mutt running a 136.662. Camel running a full second slower. Wow. We are now at the halfway point of this race. It is time for your lap with the leader. J-Mutt been dominating ever since qualifying. He's been leading other than the pit stop. He's been leading. So let's go and put up the speedometer. Let's go in the cockpit view. And let's go on with a lap with the leader. And let's crank it up. And that was your lap with the leader. A beautiful lap with J-Mutt. Update on the standings. Camel has fallen down a little bit by about a couple seconds. And Dragon has fallen down quite a bit. I don't know if he went into the pits or not. He was behind DJ, but now he is nearly a full lap down from DJ. So I don't know what happened there. We definitely missed it. Now J-Mutt once again extending the gap to Camel. He's got that Monster Energy car dialed in. "36 minutes remaining here at the Silverstone Grand Prix." Let's go ahead and take a look through the field. Starting all the way down in 11th, we did lose someone. Who do we lose? Well, let's find out. Mark, F1. Solid opening performance last season. Unfortunately, not able to replicate the same results. Having a hard time, currently down in 11th place, multiple laps down. He started in 8th, and he has unfortunately only started going down since the start of the race. Up in 10th, Six Dragons rule. So I'm having a great battle with DJ. While they're trying to chase him down, but something happened, so he is down quite a bit of ways. Actually, may even looks like even being close to be put down by his kind of battling buddy with DJ Vixen. He started in 7th, so he has lost 3 positions. Rosa 236 started in last place in 12th with a 10-second penalty for speeding while entering the pit lane. That's a big old no-no, but he's surviving. Currently P9. This one hurts my heart to see. Currently down in 8th, multiple laps down as well. Jacob D48 started in 2nd, got the Group C pole, but he is struggling right now. We hope that he can catch up to DJ and potentially even Spoon by the end of the race. See if he can't net a top 6. DJ looking solid, looking pretty good. P7, started in 6th, so lost position, but he's currently trying to close the gap on Spoon. They've been running, he's been running slightly slower lap times to Spoon, but he's trying, he's pushing, he's doing the best that he can. 6th place, Spoon 951. Started back in 11th. Started back in 11th, so he has made up some big spots. Throughout the race, just taking his time. He's on the throttle and kind of letting the other guys kind of spin their way out of contention. And once again, he's also multiple laps down. Currently 52 seconds down from Potvin Sucks in the top 5. Speaking of which, here he is. Potts started in 9th. He's now up in P5. Currently the last place Group A driver in the current standings. We'll go ahead and finish that through the field in just a moment, as Jacob is now overtaking DJ Vixen for 7th position as Roast is in the pits. Looks like Jacob has taken off. Going back up to Potvin Sucks, dominating Group B last season. I believe he finished 3rd overall in the point standing. So let's see if he can't. Let's see if he can't do the same here, or maybe even better, even finish 2nd to Camel. Who knows? Oh, we lost Blitz. That's what we lost. That's unfortunate. Yeah, we lost Blitz. That sucks. So we lost Blitz. That's a dang shame. But he's in Group C, so it won't hurt him all that much. Mr. Hannibal Moore started in 5th, now up to 4th. Been solid all day. Had a battle with Will Phaser, but something happened. I don't know if it's a split strategy or something. But 38 seconds down. Will Phaser sitting on the bottom step of the podium so far. So with 31 minutes to go. He is far, far, far from Camel in the leaders. I mean, 3rd place is solid 3rd place. Camel, he has been chasing J-Mutt all race long, and he has him in his sights. J-Mutt looks like had a big off somewhere. And now Camel's going to try to close the deal. He sees blood in the water. I didn't know camels can swim. But he sees it, and he's going to try to take advantage of it. 138 flat for the Camel, 137.838 for J-Mutt. And then, of course, the leader, J-Mutt, he has been solid all race long, with the exception of that last lap, it seems. This first kind of screw up there. So let's go and follow this kind of saga here. Really trying to push. Let's take a look inside their cockpits real quick. Take a look, see how much KERS they have left. Camel with 25. J-Mo with a little bit more. Will Phaser with 31. Animal More with plenty. You can actually start using that. Potts with a lot. That is a lot. He could be using that to catch up to Hannibal. Spoon, he's kind of down on KERS. Jacob's got plenty to deal with. DJ's got plenty as well. Rosta, Dragon, and let's see what Mark has. Again, so the leaders really using a lot. I think they're using it rather statistically, or strategically rather. I think they're going to try to use up all of it by the end. Let's go back down to here. Hold on. This between Jacob and Spoon. Gets around through Maggots and Beckett's. Really hard overtaking spot, but Jacob gets it done. Looks like almost after an hour, he's got his car figured out. And now he is on the prowl, currently in 6th place, and he is pushing. He's got over a minute to make up to catch up to Potts. Now Jacob just can't get too headstrong. He's got to play it smart. Spoon diving into the pits. This should be his final pit stop. Let's go take a look at the timings. Who has the fastest lap so far? Overall, it's going to be J-Mutt with a 133.587, but that only gives him Group B fastest lap. Group A fast lap is going to go to none other than the Camel with a 134.80. And the Group C fast lap's going to go to this man right here, Jacob D48, with a 1:35.770. So far, only 3 cars technically on the lead lap, as Will Faze is going to dive into the pits, what seems to be for the last time. So there's still one more pit stop that everyone needs to make. Some of them have already made it. J-Mutt now making his. Camel, he's going to stay out. He's going to try to go for the overcut. J-Mutt getting a 10-second time penalty, diving in there. Slow pit stop. I believe about 35 to 37 miles an hour is the pit speed. But he gets nabbed with a 10-second time penalty. So J-Mutt's going to have to saddle up. That is going to be huge. That's going to be a big hit. He's got to hope for Camel to do the same, or Camel to have a big off. Oh my goodness gracious. That could have given J-Mutt a very important win. And J-Mutt is off. We'll follow him around. Camel probably going to come in either this lap or in a couple of laps. So let's see. Question is, did J-Mutt get tires? I would assume he did. This track is very, very harsh on tires. 26.5 minutes to go. Camel in the pits. Let's see where he comes out. J-Mutt definitely going to pass him, but did J-Mutt's undercut strategy work? He's able to pull ahead a lot, so he used a lot of the curves. Like a lot of the curves, and he's got to push hard. Only 6 seconds. He's got to make up another 5 seconds. Well, really, yeah, another like a little over 4 seconds. So he is going to have to push. Oh, we got a car that who is that? Is that Jacob? It was pushing wide. I don't know if he's got any damage or not. But we're going to go and follow Camel around. We're not seeing any close battles here. So this one will have to do. So Will Fazer took his last pit stop. Top 3, 4. No, Hannibal's going to have to actually come in. Potts has plenty. Ooh, Potts might be able to steal 4th place from Hannibal here. And that's not going to help it as he loses it. Where is he at on the track? Oh, he is hemorrhaging time from Potts. Just lost it coming out of Maggots and Beckett's. So I think Potts is going to be able to safely secure P4, it seems. There he goes into the pits. We should see Potts come out the other side, no problem. Sorry about that. 22 minutes to go. Potts safely in 4th place by a good chunk. Actually, by about 4 seconds, but Potts has been a little bit quicker than Hannibal from what I could see. But we know Hannibal's capable of doing about 138 to 139, so around the same time. So we could see 2 tails unfolding. The tail of J-Mutt trying to get above 10 seconds. Camel trying to stay within that 10-second gap. J-Mutt has now surpassed. So Camel, he's going to have to keep it straight. And he's losing a lot of time here. I wonder what happened. And Spoon has disconnected. We have lost Spoon, unfortunately. It's just been it was a bad race for him, unfortunately. So I believe he'll be awarded with 11th place points. Yeah, J-Mutt has really just hit the NOS button all throughout the track, and he is just blazing through. Looking for that 10-second mark between 1st and 2nd. Camel can stay within that 10 seconds. He will have the win. He's got 20 minutes to do so. This man right here, Hannibal Moore, he's got 20 minutes to make up 2 seconds, so he's catching up to Potts. He has him in his sights. Let's go on board with Hannibal Moore. Can Hannibal close in the gap? Potts has a little bit more curves to use, so he's definitely going to use that to his advantage. One of these two drivers right here, if one of them messes up, it's pretty much over for them. They're going to have to accept with whatever position they finish in. This is what Potts needs. This is going to put him 3rd in Group A points. Hannibal Moore is able to close in the gap. Potts did a 141.4 last lap. He does a 140. Hannibal does a 138. So Hannibal's pushing. He's going to try to get that 4th place back. 17.5 minutes to go. And he gets one hell of a run through the arena section. Through the arena complex there. That's where Hannibal's been strong all day long, though, through that arena complex. Let's see if Hannibal can put this to use. Potts running a little bit wide. Can he go? Catches up a little bit going into Stowe. He's going to dive it in there. He's now within a second. He's going to be right up on the rear of Potts, coming out of this arena section, coming up through turns 3, 4, and 5. Let's see how well he goes through 1 and 2, though. Yes, he gets through turn 3 so good, and he rolls the car around turn 4 with ease. The leader's lapping about the same. Last lap, J-Mutt increasing that lead. He's where he needs to be right now. Hannibal really doing all the work right here, really trying to get past Potts. Hannibal running nearly a second quicker last lap. See, Hannibal, he didn't exactly want to get behind him because he didn't want to get that aero wash where all that kind of dirty hot air kind of controls the car going into cops. So kind of smart of Hannibal to kind of stay on the clean air in front of him a little bit to prevent him from understeering through cops. Kind of it's one of those 200 IQ moves that drivers kind of have to think about. Is don't exactly get right behind him, kind of get a little bit beside him. Kind of like half and half, half in, half out. Like when your body doesn't know what it wants when you're trying to lay down for bed. Do I want one leg in, one leg out, both legs in, both legs out? Like, what do I want? The answer is you want one in, one out, always. Helps you regulate your body temperature. We have about 6 laps to go, it seems. Once again, Hannibal Moore just getting that better running side by side. Hannibal Moore is going to be making the pass into the grass. Got to watch out, though. Eases onto it. Potts going to let him go by. Very interesting. I think Potts just wants to save it. He doesn't want to crash any of them out. But look, man, 15 minutes to go, 14 minutes to go. I'm throwing my bows out there. I'm defending my position. I'm pushing you wide. I'm going to make you back out of the throttle. I'm going to let you get behind me. Looks like Potts will probably be happy with that 5th place, though, it seems. And Hannibal Moore, he's going to ride off into the sunset. Is lap car going to make things a little bit interesting? Let's find out. Yeah, Blitz has left the session. Yeah, that's unfortunate, man. That is unfortunate. Yeah, he's grabbing that toe. That might be Jacob, actually. Yeah, that's going to be Jacob. So got to watch out for Jacob. He's been loosey-goosey, and he's just going to go and pull off. Smart move by Jacob. He's going to rejoin with, wow, Potts kind of falling off the wayside quite a bit. Wow. 13 minutes to go. Camel's really going to have to push it the last, starting now pretty much. Last 5 or so laps. Camel getting around. I believe that was Will Phaser. So now we only have 2 cars on the lead lap. Unreal. But looks like, wow, Camel's going to have a run for his money with J-Mutt again. But in a completely different group. There's see that white dot on the right side of your screen? That is J-Mutt, the leader. He's just entering the 3rd sector. And Camel's just halfway through the 2nd sector, entering Maggots and Beckett's. It's like Camel running slower and slower lap times. A 1:38.155. Youch. Youch, youch, youch. 10.5 minutes to go. All Camel really has to do is he just has to make up that 4 seconds right now. That's all he has to do. He just has to push for these last remaining laps. Last remaining 10.5 minutes. Dragon in the pits. I think the bottom guys should be safe from 6 on back. They should be pretty safe in their positions. The story we're focusing on needs to finish within 10 seconds to grab the win. .2 seconds down from his best lap. So we should be able to see him set into the 1:36s. See what time J-Mutt ran, 1:37. Time is winding down for Camel. 1:37 ran slower than J-Mutt. Man, if the rest of the season goes like this, it's going to be hard to catch up to J-Mutt. Camel's really going to have to up his game. It's very rare do we see someone dominate Camel as much as this. This has been unreal. Going past a lap car. Looking at the times, 1:36, 998 from J-Mutt. Don't think Camel's got the speed to do it. I really don't think so. Yeah, he's lost a lot of ground already. A full second. 1:37.640. Youch. Youch, youch, youch. Sorry about that. Might be too little, too late. Wow. Yeah, Camel's got to come up with make pretty hard, insurmountable gain. Full 7.5 seconds in increasing. Let's go ahead and go on board with J-Mutt real quick. Let's just see. Still got 48. Camel's got 53. So J-Mutt's been using a lot of his. He's been very, very willing about his. Yeah, everyone's about kind of like the same-ish. The leaders have used a lot more. It's absolute pure domination. This has been just an absolute masterclass. All he has to do is just keep it clean. "10-second penalty? What 10-second penalty?" J-Mutt says to himself. Not an issue at all. He could have gotten he could have gotten a 20-second penalty at this point. That's unreal. 5 minutes to go. Wow. If I wasn't talking, my jaw would be on the floor. This has just been absolutely insane. But again, I wonder if it was just this track. It's going to be interesting when we go to Zolder and Hockenheim next week. Because again, this was a tough track. This is a tough track, and it looks like these cars seem to be a little bit of a handful. Still lapping so fast. After sector 1, a second down from his fast lap. Oh my goodness gracious. Sun is slowly starting to set here at Silverstone. What a great way to end the day. Two laps to go. And J-Mutt will be a winner. Camel's got to make up 12 seconds, but I don't think that's happening. I honestly don't think so. Yeah, he's definitely not going to have enough time to slow down and cross the line. He's not that far ahead. So white flag is in the air for the Silverstone Grand Prix. It's going to put it around one last time. And I think even a big mistake, he'll still walk out a winner here. Slower car, let him go by. And he is pretty much free and clear. He's probably not going to catch up to that lap car by the time this lap's over. If I was that lap car in front of him, I would just kind of slow down so I won't have to do another lap. Let's call it a night and go on home. Going through Maggots and Beckett's one last time. Down the Hanger Straight. Around Stowe one more time. Popeye eats spinach. Some athletes, they drink milk to get their power, to get their strength. Well, J-Mutt must have drank a 12-pack of Fanta because he has been fantastic all race long. J-Mutt, your Silverstone Grand Prix winner by a mile. Oh my goodness. Congrats to J-Mutt on the dominating win. Wow. Just wow. Camel coming around club for the last time. Never seen him get this punished before. He didn't spin, he didn't crash, he ran a clean race all race. He was just outpaced. And he will come in second position. Wolfazer coming across. He'll be on the last step of that podium. Hannibal coming back. 20 seconds ahead. Potts is dropping. What's going on with Potts? Does he have damage? Is he out of fuel? He's out of fuel. No, he's not. Does he have damage? What is going on? He's going really slow. But he doesn't have to worry about it. He can really putt his time around. Or did he already cross the line? Where is he at? Oh, he already crossed the line. Okay, so Potts already finished. So Hannibal's going to be the last man to finish. Okay. So Potts saying in the chat that he actually took softs and just no grip. Track was too hot. And he just couldn't hold a candle to Hannibal. Hannibal coming across in P4. And we will not be conducting any interviews tonight, unfortunately, because my my thing is not working. There you have it. There's your final standings before any Stewart inquiries are looked at. J-Mutt dominating all race long. Pretty much led flag to flag with the exception of the pit stops. Camel in second. Wolfazer in third. That's going to be your podium. Top five finished off with Hannibal Moore and Potts. So Group A finishing second through fifth. Then Jacob D48. Strong start, but finishing sixth. He will get the he will be leading Group C though, so that's good for him. DJ Vixen in P7, DTF 6 Dragons Rule in 8th. 9th is going to be Mark F1, and round off your top 10 is going to be Roasted 236, with Spoon getting 11th place points, I believe, and then Blitz getting 12th place points. So absolutely unreal. Camel now has dropped down below 1900, it seems, so that's unfortunate for him. Absolutely just wow. Just unbelievable. what a race. And I think a lot of these drivers, they're going to go back and they're going to go ahead and see what they did, see what they can do better. A lot of these tracks, I think the most elevated track is going to be Circuit of the Americas later on in the season. The rest of them look pretty dang flat, actually. So it's going to be interesting to see what the rest of these drivers have. You're going to see the serious ones show up a lot in practice. Like, it's going to be a lot. But wow, what a race. Lots of good battles early on and even through the middle of the race, and then, you know, unfortunately kind of thinned out, but still there's a lot of action, a lot of drama going on. Only 2 cars finished on the lead lap. That'll be first and second. And even with a 10-second penalty, J Mutt prevails with a 2-stopper. And that's going to be it. Next week, next race. It's going to be the Zolder Grand Prix followed by the Hockenheim Grand Prix, a double header next week. So stay tuned to that. Also stay tuned starting Monday. Haven't got the full details yet as far as the season goes, but we'll also be racing Formula One 2020 on Monday night. So stick around for that here on the Camel Premier Racing League YouTube channel. It's going to be probably like Camel Formula One, Camula One, I don't know, something like that. But until then, I have been William, the Zebra Alcala, calling this amazing, fun-filled action night. And we will see you on Monday night for Formula One.